Welcome and thanks for joining us today. I'm Jackie Sabrin, and this is Engaged at Any Age Summit. And I'm so pleased that you're here today because we have Andrea Allen here. She is magnificent. She's going to share all of her secrets about being present and being in alignment. And this is a very important topic. So, Andrea, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to tell the audience just a little bit about you before we dive into the topic. You are a serial, I love this, entrepreneur, coach, and yoga instructor. And you've infused 14 years of yoga into how you connect, create, and you do your business. That's so magnificent. You also are the founder of Alignment Strategy Consulting and InspireMe2Be.com. And so you've got a lot going on. I love that you used your yoga to just infuse into your whole life. And so do you want to add anything to that, or how this all came to be? And I know you have also this amazing relationship with your husband, and you used your attraction and alignment skills to maintain that relationship and draw it in. And so we'd love to hear about that as well.
Yeah, well, I'd first like to, since we're talking about relationships and yoga, the first time I went and did a real yoga class at a studio was when I was recently married to my husband, and we have a magical love story. We were engaged after less than 2 weeks and married after 2 months.
Oh,
So I basically have this, kind of strange man, but I went to my first yoga class probably weeks after we were married. And I came back and he asked me, how was it? And I said, I feel beautiful. I feel so just beautiful. And he looked at me and said, you should keep doing yoga. And we talked about that because, it almost like relieved him from this responsibility of this new husband to make me feel beautiful, because they so much want to make you feel beautiful. But for me to come in and find and go inward in a way that allowed me to see the beauty within myself, he was like, yes, do more of that. And so I just share that story because so much of my life in the last 15 years of teaching yoga and helping people create their business, I did a project called Yoga Fire Business too, where I apply these principles, these same principles of yoga and alignment, not just in how we live our life as women, but then how we create from that space as well. And so that's kind of what has kind of allowed me to be where I am today as a as a wife and as a mother and as a business owner. And that is my true passion of helping people and women to truly live in full alignment, to see the beauty within themselves. And at that point, they attract the people, the men, the clients, whoever it is that you want to attract. It comes from that place of alignment.
okay. And so since we're wanting to use this alignment to attract the love of our life, to have this beautiful relationship like you have, tell us more about what do you mean when you say alignment, just so that we're all clear?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think, if you imagine, even if you don't do yoga, trying to balance and maybe having a difficult balance posture that you're trying to actually hold. If your physical body is out of alignment, then it becomes more difficult for you to actually hold the posture. So in a yoga class, a teacher might actually fix the shoulders or fix the hips to create a place of alignment so that you can hold the posture with ease and with grace without straining or holding or tweaking in a weird way. So that's kind of the basis of alignment. Now, if you look at your own life and how you want to show up in the world and to find, again, that same ease and grace, then we need to first, before we attract someone or bring someone, we need to find that place within us that is truly that place of ease and grace and of alignment. And so I actually have 6 points that I go through with my clients, and so I can just share those really briefly. So first, it's about grounding. And so when we talk about, the feet and alignment, or in a posture, you really need to be grounded. Grounded, and so what I do for that grounding to really help someone is to know where they are and where they're going. And so we create a vision statement to really know what you want to create in your life. Who do you want to attract? Are you clear? Can you see that person so that when you wake up every day, you know what you want? And that really grounds you in your alignment in all aspects. And then the next part is the core, right? So really, core strength we know is very important in any kind of posture. So to know your core values is really key, because if you're not sure what your core values are and you're not daily trying to strengthen those core values, then how can we know who we want to attract? Or are we attracting people with those similar core values? That's what's very most important to who you are. And so to really know that, then you're going to be able to attract those people with those same core values. And I use these principles with businesses, large businesses, and in all aspects. But one is when they hire people, right? When they hire people, you can train people to do things, but you cannot change people's core values, really. You can strengthen them, but to really know who your core values are so that you attract those same people with the core values to make a relationship work. So you don't want to just attract anybody. You want to attract that person that has those same core values. So the next part is the heart center, right? That's where our passion and our love and our purpose lies. And so to really know what that is, right? Know what your passions are, what lights you up, what fills you up. And to really know that, then you can start not only to know that, but to live it. Are you off on the beach? Are you traveling because that's what you love to do? Are you learning more about business and getting into that? Then you're going to start to be in the circles and around other people that have those same passions. And so that's part of living in that alignment. The next one is your throat chakra, which is your communication. Are you truly being honest in how you communicate, right? Are you sitting in front of someone on a date and you're not really speaking your truth? You're not really authentically communicating who you are and what's honest, your true story. And so to really be able to communicate and know what that truth is, and it's likewise not only what we're saying, but what we're not saying that really matters. So that's the next part of that alignment process that we really need to define. And the next part, I hope I'm not taking too much time, the next part is your third eye, your intuition. Okay. And so this is, so many women that I work with, they're not trusting that intuition. You can call it different, it's that gut feeling, it's that thought in the back of your mind. And as we work on attracting our soulmate, we need to trust that intuition. We need to follow it and really believe in it. And I think, when we create ways in our lives to tune into that intuition and then trust in it, then that's when we live in full alignment. The next part is simply our mind, right? So we don't want to leave out that knowledge of, using this information, like all of these amazing interviews, collecting that information to be able to create that alignment and make those little adjustments in your life that you need to fully be able to grow and attract the people that you want to. So that's what I talk about in regards to aligning you so that you can be ready to fully attract the person that is in best alignment with you.
Wow, that's fantastic. So do you do this? Is this a daily routine? I mean, you went through a lot of things. So something that you get up every day and before you met your husband, you're practicing your yoga, you're keeping yourself in alignment by keeping focused on, like you said, your core values and what those are. And so is this something that if a woman wanted to start really to get into alignment,
Mm-hmm.
is it a daily practice, or what would you say would be the first thing that you would do?
Absolutely, it's a daily practice. And I know one thing, that I specialize on that we wanted to talk about today, which was being present.
Yes.
And, I'm just going to weave that in only because I always teach that the number one key to being present is a daily practice. And it's the same with an alignment, right? Of staying in alignment, because we have to create daily practices in our lives to be able to create that alignment. And so there's absolutely things that we need to do to be able to keep in alignment. So, first you need to have a vision statement. You need to know what you really want. You have to, write it out. I have all my clients post it and actually say it every day. So when they read it, they step in and they remember what they want, so they can align all their decisions with that vision. Likewise, their core values are there, and it's an awareness. It's a daily awareness of thinking about, is this decision that I'm making totally in line with my core values? Am I strengthening my core values? If honesty is one of my most important core values, well, is this decision the most honest thing that I could do, or is this what I need to say? Is my message? Am I living my passion on a daily basis? What do I need to do? Do I need to book my vacation? Do I need to go on daily walks in nature? Do I need to give myself flowers and have them so I can smell them and smell their essence and have them inspire me? Like, it is daily practices that we need to do so that when we show up with people around us, then we are who we want to be. We are who we truly are. We peel off all those layers of the past and expectations of the future. And this goes back to that presence. When you're in alignment, then there's not all the worries of, or struggle, or the hardness just melts away. And that's kind of the first step of truly living with presence.
Yeah.
And I know that word is kind of confusing too. So,
well, I think that you brought
go ahead.
presence, since I really wanted you to talk about that, and just to how we can use presence, bringing presence to the attraction piece with attracting, because we're wanting to attract a relationship, and just going into what presence really looks like and what it really is. You can just expand on that.
Yeah, I mean, presence is kind of one of those words that
Yeah.
is a little confusing. In fact, my friend I just talked to a little bit ago, she always makes fun of me because I had just moved in next to her, and she was all scattered. Her mind was 500 different places, and I was trying to just connect with her, and I said, "You just need more presence. Just be here with me." And she was like, "Presence? Like gifts?" She was very confused. But to be present is to truly be in the present moment. So we are right here in this experience. We are right here in the food that we're tasting. We can feel the texture, the smells, the aroma, the environment. We can see the person in front of them. And we're not in the thoughts of the stories that we tell ourselves of, oh, are they going to like what I'm wearing? Oh my gosh, is my hair okay? I wonder what their relationship, oh, my last relationship didn't work out, so we get so wrapped up in the stories of the past. We get so wrapped up in the stories and the fears and the worries of what's going to be that we miss out on the true moments to really be with someone, or even in that, like I said, with our food, or the experience on the beach with our feet in the sand, to truly be in the present moment. And that is when deep and true connection occurs. And so, it's a process, right? And like I said before, the key to creating this presence is creating a daily practice. It is bringing back the awareness through questions, through meditation, through just sitting in the moment, to learning how to truly look in someone's eyes. And I challenge you as part of this, if you're listening, to the next time you're looking at someone, hold their gaze, truly look into their eyes until you can really see them. Let them feel that you can see them. And you're not trying to look through them, that you're just there with them. And I can promise you there will be a deeper connection there. And you can do that with, someone you're intimate with, but your family members. You can do that way more easily with small children. They're fun to practice on.
Yeah.
But you can do them with, strangers at the store. Someone's giving you back change, and you just hold their gaze for just a moment. But it's living in this moment and capturing this moment that when you're there and experiencing it, people cannot help but want to be in your space, because that's when you radiate who you are. You're right there, all of you. And there is no stories in your mind, and those people will just come. Everyone will come to be in your present when you're in that present moment.
And so it's obvious when you're talking with someone, if you're running a story, like you were saying, there's stories, you're sitting there engaged in a conversation, but your mind's wandering and thinking about what your hair looks like, or the self-conscious, you're being self-conscious, so you're running these stories, you're really missing out on the conversation. You're not really there, you're not present. And so I love the suggestion to do that gazing in the eyes, to really make that connection in the eyes and really listen to what that other person's saying, so they can see that you are present for them. And so that is just a beautiful practice. I think just going out and practicing that. And I love that you said with children. Yeah, that's a fun thing to do, and with your friends too. It's a beautiful process.
Yeah, I mean, as we're talking about attracting the man of your dreams, of really finding love, right? That deep connected love. And it's not something that, and presence in itself too, isn't something that you have all the time. I mean, that's just not realistic, right? And so what happens is, as you work on your daily practice and your alignment, then you start to be more present more often. And you start to create that space. And what happens is there's just more connection, right? And so when we're talking about attracting them, so when we're fully in alignment, when we're doing what we love, we're not worried about what anyone else is thinking. We're just truly living, like fully living.
Yeah.
That's when we will truly attract the people in our lives. And you said friends, and I think through the dating world, friends are so important, and having those friendships and being honest and true and sharing, and so that's important to do. And so I challenge you to keep that presence in those friendships along the path, and then keeping and maintaining. And so I would just love to share how important it is, because I have been married for over 15 years, and my husband and I created an event called Give the Gift of Presence last December over the holiday season. And it was something that the first project that we really did together. And then we continued to teach presence in a program. But I just want to kind of share that didn't just come out of nowhere, but it came from within our relationship a couple really, really hard years. And my husband is a corporate lawyer, and kind of sold his soul to that corporate world. He showed up, was an amazing, very, very successful lawyer, but he, admits, saying that at the loss of being really connected, an amazing husband and father. And so he went through a transition of trying to figure out how to reconnect. And he learned that the only way to truly reconnect with his kids again and create that relationship, that real deep, meaningful relationship, and to reconnect with me in order to truly come back into that love that we've had. And we loved each other, but he was very absent. His mind, he just wasn't there. He was not present for any of us when he got home. And so he learned on a daily practice that was not easy for him. And it took a while on how to truly change your awareness so that you are present, that you change the stories. And it's through these concepts of awareness, of meditation or prayer, whatever you use, of asking for it, of becoming aware of your body. Your body is a sure way sign. When you're trying to engage with something and all of a sudden your shoulders tense up or your tummy gets really tight or your breathing's faster, then those are signs that you are moving into a space out of alignment and out of being really present. So trying to tune in. Am I holding tension in my shoulders? Am I holding it in my belly? Starting to ask yourself, am I being present or am I listening to the stories in my mind? And becoming aware of those. So it has been a miracle in our relationship to come back into living in alignment and living with presence. And I think that's one of the reasons, I've taught presence for 15 years in yoga class, but to truly watch my husband apply those principles and see what a difference it is, it's a miracle. And I know, that you need that to sustain that once you attract the man of your dreams, to continue to have that communication, is that being present is the key.
What a wonderful miracle that you've experienced. It's so beautiful and so wonderful that your husband was willing and wanting to make that commitment, to make that deep connection with you. Mm-hmm. And so that's what women need to do to actually draw a man in. Is that right? Because if they are able to be in alignment and be really present, mm-hmm. then they can, I guess, not to say catch a man's eye, but it's noticeable. So you must have noticed a big shift in him where you were connecting with him.
It radiates.
It
radiates out of you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
I wanted you to share that power so he started connecting with you and you could tell. And so I want women to know that men can tell when we're not connecting with them, when we're running our story. So what were things that were signs to you that you guys were connecting on a deeper level? You were having that emotional connection through presence.
Yeah. So I think we've all experienced in ourselves, I think you can recognize when you distract yourself, right? When you're filling your day and your time with things that don't matter so much. And instead of really filling your time with the people and the things that matter most. And so I just want to start there because, that's one of the things first steps that he started, right? The first thing was he started to, rather than, play video games or try and until all hours of the night, he stopped and said, let's play a board game. Let's all play cards. Do you want to snuggle and watch a movie? So then he made the choice of creating those actions, right? So that was just one of the first things. But so that's one challenge, is to really, what are you doing? Is your nose in the book all the time? Or are you just looking around and observing and feeling and, not to block books, that was kind of a bad example, but are we distracted? And so when we're distracted, people can't connect with us. Yes. And so when he started to do that, then all of a sudden we could be in his space and we started to, attract. The next thing was that eye contact. He just really started looking at us. He started looking at the kids. He started talking to them, sharing truth. That was part of the honest. He started to really say, be honest with all of us. This is really hard for me. I'm going through a really hard time. I have a lot of anxiety right now, but even though I'm feeling like this, I just love you and I want to be with you. Is there something you would want to do right now? Like truly showing up in that presence. The gaze, the honesty, I think is key, because sometimes we think that we have to say certain things or show up in a different way. That's not truly being present. That's not really being in alignment. So when he started to be honest, like really raw honest, like admitting a lot of the things in his mind that's going on, that's when we started creating a deeper connection. That's when we, as a family, started coming together, and then we started to find the passion. What do we all love to do? And we started to do that together, and the light just shined and shined. And now anyone that meets him is always attracted to him.
Yeah.
Girls, stay away. But but he has this presence to him, and we have it together, which is so beautiful, and it's so powerful, and people talk to us all the time about it. But you can see it in his eyes. You can see it. You just shine it. You radiate that you're here. You're not somewhere else. And
Yeah.
people, because there's so many people that aren't here, that aren't present, it's rare. And so you know it when you see someone who's truly present.
Absolutely, you certainly do, and that is really what men are looking for, and I'm happy that you're having this beautiful experience with your husband. And that is, I think we all want that. We all want to connect with someone on a deeper level, and the only way we can do that is to get out of the story, like you said, and to bring presence to our interactions, and it does get noticed. People notice it, and I'm sure if I was to watch you and your husband interact, I would be able to instantly pick up on that. Just by hearing you talk about it, I can tell how much presence you have. And so I just can't stress enough how important it is. And it's such an easy thing to do. I mean, it takes time to train yourself, right? It's a skill, but everybody can learn how to become more present and just be more authentic, and to trust yourself. Like you said, you've kind of went through everything. So do a quick recap on, how if a woman wants to use presence and be in alignment to attract a man, and kind of just recap, a little bit really quickly for us.
Okay, sure. So I guess with the alignment is the 6 steps, again, are to actually really ground and know where you're going. And that's creating a vision statement, or really just knowing what you want and being able to read that, print it out, read it every day, know where you're going and what you want to create in your life. The next part is knowing your core values and being able to really know what those are and stay true to those. Know your passions, know your purpose, and then always be honest with your communication. And then to tune into your intuition and to really begin to cultivate that, create awareness around that, and then to trust and follow your intuition. And then lastly is your knowledge, is to continue to gain knowledge and information to support you on whatever you want to create in your life. So that's the alignment. And then the next part is just being present, and again, creating a daily practice. So I like to meditate. I also pray. So that's a way to keep me grounded into the moment and allow myself to really be there. Connecting with your breath, so you can do that anywhere. So just come back, and in fact, let's just do that right now. If we just sit up nice and straight and just take a deep inhale in and exhale out. This time, still your gaze. Point your eyes on one thing and keep them right there. So that allows you to focus your gaze in the present moment, not in the future or the past. So take another deep inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. So there's nothing faster than connecting and bringing awareness into the breath to really allow you to be present and incorporating that throughout your day. Like I said, stilling your gaze where you look. If your mind is going crazy and you know it, just pick some place and keep your eyes focused in that place. So that's another tip of being present. And the next part is just truly letting go of the stories. When you're with someone, look in their eyes. Truly just be with them for no intent than to find a connection. No matter what you look like, what they look like, it's truly see them for who they are and what you can share in that moment. Whether there's going to be a date after or not, it doesn't matter. Be with that person fully, and you won't regret that, just being in that moment.
You are so enchanting. I just love this interview, and thank you for doing that breath work. It's such a thing to do, and people forget to breathe, but that
Mhm.
just kind of calms everything down and allows that presence to come forward. So I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
it's such a divine light. Thank you so much for bringing so much value to the summit. And I know
Mhm.
you have a free gift that you want to tell our audience about that they can download and have access to. Will you share a little bit about that now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to offer a alignment assessment just to see, you can kind of fill it out and see if you are maybe off in certain areas, and then a free 30 minutes with me to see where we can pull you back into alignment, and so that you can really be ready to be present and to attract the man of your dreams.
I love that. That is so generous of you. And so the audience can simply click, there's a little button right below this video that says click here, and that'll take you directly to getting access to getting in touch with Andrea for that 30 minutes. And so thank you for providing that. That is really wonderful. I know that's going to help a lot of women that choose to do that. And also another opportunity is to purchase the summit so that you can watch Andrea's interview again and again at your leisure, take notes, and that's by going to engaged at neage.com/upgrade, and you can get the whole summit. And like you said, one of the things is to educate yourself. So watching the summit and these interviews over and over again will continue to keep all these things that you want to be doing to stay in alignment so that you can attract that soul love that you really long for.
Absolutely.
Well, I've really enjoyed the interview. Thank you so much for being here again, and I look forward to seeing your future work and following you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. And yes, everyone just reach out to me, and best wishes. I hope you all find your soulmate.
I know they're going to. I'm just holding that space for them. I'm determined.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
really great connecting with you here. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thank
everybody.